Our first question comes from our guest, Dena. Dena, thanks for joining us today. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I was wondering, as a parent, I find it hard to communicate with my teenager. He used to be so easy to talk to, but now doesn't want my help. What can I do to improve our relationship, to give him room to grow as a teen?
Well, I'm going to look back to my teenage years and remind you to look back to yours, right? So do you remember what it was like to be a teenager? You know, it might be some years ago, but it's always very important to start looking at that when you're dealing with your teenager, and also to look at your motivation when you're working with your teen. So recently I saw a movie called 8th Grade. I don't know if you saw that, but it reminded me of what it was like to be a teenager and all the social challenges I had and body image. And it brought me back to an experience I had as a student nurse when I was 17. I was going to give my first injection to a patient, and he happened to be an 18-year-old, really cute boy. And he volunteered to be my target for my first IM injection. And so I had to go into the bedside and draw an iodine cross on his rear end so I could target the upper outer quadrant for this injection. But the instructor was right behind me, and she was screaming, "Shoot, shoot," right? And I had the needle up too high. And so the patient said, "Gee, that was really great. I didn't feel anything." And the reason he didn't feel anything is the target, the needle landed in my finger, right? And it was sticking out of my bone. So I remember feeling in panic. And with this, the instructor, she threw her hands up in the air and she said, "Too bad for you. I've had it with you. You're really bad at this, you know." So going back to that time as a teenager really puts you into that empathetic situation when you're feeling for your teen.